the American dream. You get your house, get your picket fence, your couple of kids, the green grass, make sure the coffee's brewing. I mean, renting a property instead of buying is like throwing money down the drain, right? But is it? What if I told you this wasn't even true? So even though I myself am actually a licensed real estate broker, I'm gonna tell you guys, I'm gonna give you some reasons, some ideas, some things to think about why renting a property may not be as bad as you think it is. Do you guys remember what happened back in 2008? Money was a-flowing, people were buying properties, and then everything turned upside down. The real estate market absolutely collapsed. I have a number of friends and colleagues who were investing in real estate who even had to declare bankruptcy because the properties that they owned were worth significantly less than what they owed on them, and they were not able to keep up with the cash flow and make the payments in order to stay solvent in their businesses. Now, do I think that real estate is not a good investment? Of course not. I think it's a great investment. But do I think that there's a clear answer for every human being, that every human being should own a house and it's exactly what you should do? Definitely not. So we're gonna go over 4 reasons that I think could make renting a better option than buying a home. All right, the first, what if you want to be flexible on your location? Okay, so you buy a house in wherever city, and then a year later, you decide that you want to take a job or take a position in another city. Well, what do you have to do? You have to figure out what to do with that asset that you're now tied to. So purchasing a property with a mortgage means you're kind of enslaved, you're attached to that property. If you only rent a property, you can negotiate what your terms are, right? The worst case scenario, you're probably going to be in a lease for a year. So that's 12 months of payment. Maybe you only have 4 months left and your worst case scenario is paying the remainder of your lease. Maybe you can find someone to sublease and then you're off the hook the remainder of your lease. So you have a lot more flexibility if you rent than you do if you own the house. So just keep that in mind. And of course, you might be thinking, well, I could just sell my house. Well, if you have a lot of equity, you can, but you have to think of the cost that you incur when you sell a house, right? There's probably 10% of your sales price is gonna go towards costs, fees, and closing costs in order to get that home sold. Just ballpark, 10%. Number 2, no maintenance. When you rent a property, if something breaks, you call the landlord. You say, hey man, my air conditioning's out. Hey, my dishwasher stopped working. Hey, this lock is broken. Whatever the case may be, right? If you have a good property management or a good landlord, they're gonna get that fixed like really quick for you. Now, if you own the home, it's on you. When your AC goes out, it's on you. When your dishwasher breaks, it's on you, right? So that's something that you have to factor in. Now, I know that this number is arbitrary and it's hard to figure out. I actually analyzed this on a property, our previous home, and I'm gonna share that with you at the end. But it's tough to do, but you have to assign a figure of approximately what you think you would spend on repairs. Just because one year you spend nothing doesn't mean the next year you won't spend $3,000 or $4,000 or $5,000. So come up with an average of what you think you might spend in a year for your property. Number 3, what about amenities? What if you want a hot tub or a nice, awesome pool or a sauna or to put in a gym at your home? These are things that will cost you tens of thousands of dollars to do. And if you rent a property at the right type of space, you could actually get all of these things as a part of your rental package. So don't discount amenities, even things like free coffee, like I have. Don't discount amenities if you're going to rent a property. Number 4, you're gonna have lower costs. And before we go, I'm gonna be giving you a downside and some other information, so make sure you stick around. And if you're liking this video, hit me in my face. I really appreciate it. Thanks. So number 4 is you decrease the cost that you incur on your property. Lower real estate taxes, even your insurance cost if you rent a property is much lower. Now you just need to insure your contents. You don't have to insure the structure. So your costs are dramatically lower if you insure. All right, now I said I was going to give you guys a bonus and talk about the downside, okay? First, let me share with you what happened. My family sold our home in 2020. And remember what I said, I'm a licensed real estate agent, I'm a broker, but we sold our primary residence and moved into a complex. And here's what I found out. I'm a spreadsheet guy. I did the comparison. I'm looking at it right now. And so When it was all said and done, we were literally neck and neck with the total cost of ownership of a home to the total cost of rental. I mean, I got nitty gritty on this thing. If you want the details, so we have a pet fee that I averaged out per month. We have a first floor premium. I included our application fee and divided that out. I mean, I did everything for this rental. And guess what? We were within, it's cost $7 less per month to live here at this apartment than it actually cost me at my home with the total cost of home ownership. So although it may seem less expensive to own a home, it's not necessarily. Now the downfall, what's the downfall? What am I not, answer me in the comments. What am I not building by renting this property rather than owning my property? You are correct. We're not building up equity, right? So what could that be per year? It could be $3,000, $5,000, $10,000, $20,000. Depends on how large your mortgage is, what amount of principal of your mortgage that you're paying down. So it depends on where you are in your loan process as well. So we're not building up equity by living here. But my intention for the short term, I don't think this is bad. For the long term, it gives me more opportunity to be here and actually look for a real estate deal that I can buy at a bigger discount. And then it doesn't matter. Whatever I missed out in the equity in the 2 years that we'll live here and enjoy this property with all these amenities that basically cost me the same, I'll make that up when I make my next home purchase. So use these strategies. Keep this in mind. Now, next up, you should watch this video on how you can purchase a home with no closing costs. I'm going to give you some brainstorm, some ideas, some thought behind that. So check out this next video.